All right, welcome everybody. The Super Mario Kart Winners Finals is here. We have me, Dan _H, bringing commentary to you. Karl van Duivenboden, the #1 seed from the Netherlands, going up against the number 2 seed Lafungo of the Netherlands by way of Boston, Massachusetts. We got both players pretty much readied up. KVD has chosen Special Cup. Lafungo has killed off Flower Cup for now. I'll get to a little bit of the format in a little bit. Lafungo is obviously still complaining about whatever because he's Lafungo. So we'll get a little recropping done, and then we'll get on our way. So KVD and Lafungo, a little bit of their background, both very strong time trial players. KVD has been a multiple-time world champion of Super Mario Kart on both PAL and NTSC. We're playing the NTSC version for this tournament. Lafungo has had a meteoric rise up the charts over the last couple of years, including a few world records that he's stolen away from Karl. Alright, so it looks like we're ready to roll. I will give myself one last refresh and then give a countdown. Or not ready. Lafungo's been such a stickler about things throughout this entire tournament, and now he's just making everything harder for everybody. Alright, so the countdown has happened. In about 30 seconds, we will be underway, and we'll get the stream synced up. Meanwhile, we'll tell you that this stream is brought to you by SpeedGaming. SpeedGaming, allowing multiplayer video games with social distancing before it was cool. Speaking of social distancing, these two are roommates. They are playing this game in the same house. So, despite the fact that they could play against each other 2-player mode, what? Mini Yoshi coming on. Despite the fact that they could play this game against each other 2-player mode at any time, they are following strict guidelines for social distancing and doing it here on SpeedGaming. We got Mini Yoshi Special Cup mode going. This is not going to be easy for either of these players despite their high level of skill. Special Cup is no joke, and playing Mini Yoshi is just going to be brutal. And from what I know, if you play Mini, you are not allowed to purposely seek out Karl getting squished. Purposely seek out a mini mushroom when in mini mode will grow you back up. So that will be verboten. KVD in a lot of trouble on this narrow, difficult track of Donut Plains 3 right now. Sitting back in 8th place, and this is just going rough. I don't think he's going to get out of this first one. This could be a rank out. This was not in the final match's official rules, but these two worked it out between each other. And KVD, who knows how to bump into computer players apparently, just keeps on doing so. It's like it's his job. A mushroom on this course would be fantastic, but I'm not sure if you're going to have the speed to pop over that wall as Mini Yoshi. And already KVD has thrown a give up into there. When it rains, it pours, guys. And yes, it is just this one cup that they're going to be doing. Meanwhile, Lafungo gonna be moving on to Koopa Beach 2, which is even less of a joke than Donut Blades 3, because the computer players do not slow down in the big water portion of the track. I guess the only he's got really good acceleration, so the multiple times you get squished in this race is going to be, well, you can get back up to his top speed, which is second worst in the game. And now KVD taking a lead. Hopefully will not relinquish this lead for the remainder of the course. Lafungo, meanwhile, a full track ahead of him. Alright, so KVD, as mentioned, he's been a multiple world champ on the C version. Lafungo's meteoric rise over the last 2 years has begun to challenge his housemate. These two at the recently held American Super Mario Kart Championships a couple weeks ago in Monroe, Louisiana, went toe-to-toe against each other. I believe Lafungo was either second or third overall. KVD was fourth overall. KVD did take home a gold in 150cc mode. All the other modes were, which is match race, battle mode, and time trial 1 tries, was dominated by our godfather, Great Britain's own Sami Chetan. Moving on to the, for Lafungo, the easiest platform jump to make in the game. With Mini Yoshi, it is doubtful that he will actually go for those platform jumps. I really don't. I'm sure you do actually have enough speed to hit, and he actually does. A feather would be a monster item on this track. Oh, this could get rough. Good acceleration though for Yoshi after that fall. Lafungo trying to do long boosts off this zipper. Long boosting triggered by running into the wall after releasing the B button, the gas button. And then once it puts you into kind of this locked state, and once you hit a zipper, it'll lock you into that speed for about 5 seconds instead of your normal half second or so. That mini mushroom, I don't know if there's a gentleman's agreement that if you hit a mini mushroom and grow yourself back up, that you're going to give up the race, or what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on here. Lafungo taking a squish, but well in the lead. Apparently my mic is acting up, but oh well, we'll just have to deal with that for a little bit. My mic is mostly fine, I'm being told now. Alright, KVD sitting back in 8th place. Not 100% sure what happened. More than likely missed the zoom start and then got squished, because that's what KVD does. He misses zoom starts. Lafungo is exceptionally consistent on zoom starts. Another squish. Missed a platform jump. What's wrong with him? The easiest platform jump on the game. Right, meanwhile, Lafungo cruising through Vanilla Lake 2. Just kind of maintaining that consistency, staying in first place, avoiding those CPUs. I mean, you can sacrifice hitting a few blocks, especially with Yoshi. if it just means staying in first. KVD, even more trouble with this useless tickler nanner. Well, he made halfway decent use out of it, I guess. Using it to get over the easiest platform jump on the game. And still finishes first place. Fungo on to the last track of the game. An early fall would be disastrous on Rainbow Road. But of course, 100% on zoom starts, basically, for the man hailing from Boston. Now, one thing I will say about playing Yoshi, at least his handling has a little bit of slipperiness to it. If these guys were playing Koopa or Toad on this track on Rainbow Road, it would just be completely brutal because of just what you're used to. This is danger zone for Lafungo, could get run over. If you've ever gotten used to playing the heavyweights, or at least Mario and Luigi, on 150cc or even 100cc, switching to the lighter weights, they just stick to the track too much. Their handling is too good, and it just throws you off completely. KVD dropping a nanner in front of Mario to make him spin out. But this race is virtually over. I don't see Lafungo making too horrible of mistakes. Well, and that is that. 1 star to Lafungo. I'll get a quick refresh in while KVD is moving about Rainbow Road. So a series of unfortunate events on Donut Plains 3. And then also Ghost Valley 3. I mean, those two tracks are no joke. Led to the demise of KVD and an early victory for Lafungo. We got a little swag duck going on from Mr. Lafungo here. 851 world record. You know, you would have to. The only other person that I'm aware of that has done this is Sophie on Twitch, Jarmu. I believe she did an All Cups run with Princess not too long ago. And oddly enough, finished like 7th on the leaderboard or something like that. Just way too high, way higher than it ever should have been. Alright, so KVD having a little bit of fun now, maybe? Maybe gonna farm a feather. Oh, almost hit the extra swaggy mushroom finish on Rainbow Road. Alright, we'll get these guys ready to roll. We got Mushroom Cup. These two going with their social distancing pact. They're kind of talking back and forth here in Speed Gaming chat in front of the millions when they could just kind of shout to each other in the other room. I believe after this, they will both be switching back to their normal Bowser. And the countdown has finished. We will wait for them to begin. And I would like to let everyone know that this match on Speed Gaming is sponsored by bananas. Whether it's actual bananas you eat filled with potassium, or the very, very different variety of nanners on Super Mario Kart. Green nanners, red nanners, Invinza nanners, shrinky nanners, or regular nanners. Either way, bananas are always a positive thing when it comes to your life. So here we go to Mushroom Cup. Mushroom Cup is a lot of pure driving skill. They're fairly simple tracks, but there's not too much variability in what you can do on all these tracks. Bowser Castle 2 or Bowser Castle 1 has a pretty major shortcut if you get a feather. Actually, a couple different options that you can do with that feather, but one is very significant, like cuts 8 seconds off. Donut Plains 1 has an exceedingly pseudo lap skip with the mushroom that I expect both of these players to go for if the opportunity arises. That one can save a good 8 seconds. KVD bumping a wall or a pipe there to miss out on the sub 50. If Joe Bernier was in chat right now, he would be calling KVD a scrub. Meanwhile, 49 flat for Lafungo. He would rather see that sub 49, but take what you can get when you're racing against one of the best in the world. On to Donut Plains 2. Lafungo's going to get this start boost. KVD will not. Oh, my prediction was incorrect. Mushroom for KVD. We'll see when he chooses to use this. He's probably going to want to build up 10 coins. You need 10 coins in this game to achieve full speed. Each time you gather a coin, your top speed ups just slightly incrementally. 10 is tops. What he's going to do with this mushroom is just after the finish line, he's going to turn right towards the wall and fire it at this little patch of water. And hopefully if he hits the water right, it'll pop his cart up a little bit. And that little amount of lift is enough to get you over the wall. And then you're basically on the final straightaway. That was just a mistimed jump and a pretty major setback for KVD now. He could go down 2 cups to 0. Lafungo having had a little bit of trouble, though. My eyes were focused on KVD and that shortcut. Oh, Fungus got Yoshi sniped. Typical. Yoshi, always. Typical. I mean, that's kind of become a meme among Super Mario Kart speedrunners. Every single time you get sniped, it seems like it's Yoshi. He just knows how to do it. So KVD has about a 2 to 2.5 second lead, despite that mushroom drown. He didn't go for the double bounce on with that mushroom on Ghost Valley 1. Double bounce will save you maybe a second. It's one of the harder shortcuts to pull off. One of the harder normal shortcuts to pull off, that is. Not talking about like water bounces and stuff like that. like he tried on the previous race, but otherwise, besides getting a mushroom here and saving that 1 second or so, you're not going to do much catching up on Ghost Valley 1 unless your opponent really botches it. KVD with a little bit stronger racing lines. Lafungo, I think, got bopped once, maybe. But we're still 2 seconds apart. A single crash or drown on Bowser Castle 1 or a feather, either shortcut, will make up this gap and then some. Coins for both runners. Honestly, not that bad of a item to get on the first lap. You always want to get to top speed as quickly as you can. Pretty significant crash for KVD just before the zippers. Lafungo has gained about 1 second. With some of these thwomps being down, especially over the first set of yellow jump bars, that can make that turn a real pain. You want to kind of start... Oh my. Lafungo hitting a thwomp and then hitting the yellow jump bar and finding his way into the lava. Only a feather will rescue Lafungo's chances right now. Or some major screw up from KVD. Although from the looks of it, KVD running strong. Hit one yellow jump bar and was kind of thrown off on that final turn, but still made the most of it. Gains 5 seconds on Lafungo, so here we go. This is looking like a 1-to-1 race. However, if KVD isn't paying attention, or they truly are in separate rooms or something like that, he may not know where Lafungo is and may go for some long boosts on Mario Circuit 2. Long boosts aren't a guarantee. 10 push-ups for KVD. I believe that's the second time I've seen him miss a zoom start. That is not going to be enough. Going for long boosts is Carl. Lafungo just holding on to his boost build-up over the zippers and using that to propel himself through the sand. KVD, so far so good on long boosts. Takes a full stop on a pipe. Goes the simple way now since he didn't have max speed. Uh-oh. Lucky he got over that jump. That was the opening that Lafungo needed. KVD backed up just enough. And he's not going to be crazy enough to do a long boost on the final lap. And so it is 1-to-1. GG to the runners. And we will get these guys for Star Cup. And now it is guaranteed that we are going to a Flower Cup. Which is a shame, because Flower is terrible. All right, the countdown has commenced. And as these guys get set up and get the go-ahead, I'd like to say that this broadcast is brought to you by beer or wine or whatever else you may drink, especially during this time of isolation. Everyone, raise your glass and give a toast to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's little problems. All right, on to Star Cup. First track in the game, KVD's absolute favorite Koopa Beach one, Kappa, or John Cleese in the Super Mario Kart community. Interesting mechanic that they're going to be setting up, the water slide and the slide boost. So if you enter the water mid-slide and just kind of release everything, you have to be sliding and then you have to just stop turning and let go of the R button altogether. You won't lose any speed in the water. Combine that with a boost, and you will propel yourself through the water. Oh my gosh. KVD. Carl, could you just once race properly so that I can get my explanations out there and then rip on your gameplay? I mean, honestly, guys. So, build up boost, hop into the water sliding, boost releases, and you just kind of slingshot your way through the light water without losing speed. KVD had a nice little sequence there. Drown, then Koopa snipe, then use a mushroom to regain speed but instantly drown again. And this race has gone south in a hurry, but as I've been saying, oh no, this can't be happening. Well, I'm calling it right now. This is 2-1 to Lafungo. As I was saying, Star Cup is probably the cup with the most variability. Some major shortcuts to be had, especially on this track with the feather, which Lafungo is doing right now. And yes, that was a 4-second lap right there. By far the easiest shortcut on the game. Lafungo hitting a little bit of chocolate. This chocolate on the outside, not the mud, but the chocolate, gives you by far the most severe slowdown in the entire game. Oh my gosh, KVD. This one is kind of painful, actually. That was a rough Koopa Beach one. And now he got mini mushroomed. Plus Lafungo got a feather. Oi. This is not the greatest of circumstances for KVD. So that's Lafungo is ahead by like 10 minutes by this point. I mean, we might as well just end it now. Vanilla Lake 1, nothing too special about this. Things can go south in a hurry. I mean, the CPUs seem to keep up with you a lot better than on most other tracks besides Koopa Beach 2, which we saw in Special Cup. And then, wow, KVD, you've missed 2 zoom starts on this cup. You owe me 30 push-ups. The slippery track, plus the pipes, plus ice blocks, plus rubber banding CPUs equals... Who designed this track? I mean, honestly. It looks so simplistic. It's like the opposite of a NASCAR track. Just turn right the entire time. But man, is it ever a headache. Not too much ability to gain too much ground on this track with feathers or mushrooms, but KVD mostly keeping pace with where he had been. Bowser Castle 3, another one of those that can really go south. Lafungo pretty fortunate on that final jump over the yellow jump bars. It looked like he jumped way too early and was going to land in the lava, but he wound up hitting the jump bar and clearing it instead. KVD at this point gonna need 2 feathers, as we saw Lafungo showing off the 1 or 2 pixel window you have to get through the thwomps on the left side if all of them are down. This track has a major shortcut just after the finish line off of turn 1. You can jump all the way over basically into the final, the three separate stretches. You can jump to there. KVD got stopped up by the thwomps and then gets a concrete drown. Anytime you actually clear the lava, but the game registers you as in the lava, you get that little red spot on the concrete. So I used to always say that your head was bleeding or something like that. But concrete drown has kind of been the terminology adopted by most SMK players. And this one is done. The Resident Sleeper course isn't going to give KVD any opportunity to come back. It ain't gonna cause Lafungo to have any sort of major slip up. So this one's done. Let's give credit where credit is due. Lafungo has had a spectacular Start Cup. I mean, only aided in a minor sense by that feather on Choco Island 2. He did hit the chocolate a few times, which caused major slowdowns. But this Start Cup has been spectacular. Despite him spinning out because he turned too long. All right. So we've got a little time here while these two wrap this thing up. I would like to say that this broadcast is sponsored by ghosts. Now, whether you believe in ghosts or not in real life, they absolutely do exist. In the Mario Kart series, ghosts have been a staple of the Mario Kart series from the very beginning. And where would we be without ghosts? And yes, that was a beer. All right, so that was only like 40 seconds difference. That's no big deal. These players will now get their flower cups set up. And then I will give a countdown. I see ya, Jet, saying KVD gonna crank it up now. We'll see. The countdown has been completed, And now I will let you know that this broadcast is also brought to you by the Carlton Dance. If you have absolutely no rhythm, you can still pull off the Carlton Dance. Just swing your arms one way and then the other, and back and forth until the end of time. Alright, so Flower Cup incoming. We got huge opportunities for timed game. Time gain. Gain? Did I say game? I don't know. On the very first track, Mushroom and Feather can save about 8 seconds or so. Swing your arms from side to side. Alright, I'm done. Feather for Lafungo, and the good luck keeps coming. Good driving, however, a very rare lapse in Lafungo's driving right there. Maybe it's just the chocolate that he must love. I mean, Easter is coming up, and that means chocolate bunnies and Reese's peanut butter eggs. Long boost for KVD, and you see why mushrooms are so dang effective on this track. Every time you hit one of those bumps, you get to maintain your speed. So KVD held that mushroom for an entire lap, basically. Lafungo using that feather to get over the final wall and basically skip a lap. And we are virtually even. Unfortunately, everyone will be sitting home on Easter Day by themselves, just eating chocolate. No going out, having some ham or turkey or whatever the hell people eat on Easter anymore. I don't know. I made fish tacos for my family last year. It was quite spectacular. I mean, it was nice, vibrant, spring-like fish tacos with the broccoli slaw. KVD falling on the platform jump. This is not the easiest platform jump in the game to make. This is the hardest one. I mean, nothing says exceedingly fresh like fish that you thawed the night before and then deep fried. Alright, so 4-second swing equals Lafungo up 2 seconds. And yes, I absolutely did catch the fish. They were crappies and bluegills. I'm making people hungry, apparently. Well, that's good. KVD, another miss zoom. I believe he's up to 40 push-ups, but has a big nanner. Gonna go for a little wall bounce. Probably gonna get up to 10 coins before he even attempts it, so he's got a little work to do. You don't really need the 10 coins to do this, but it does help. We'll see. I'm gonna guess that he tries it on this lap, on lap 3. There it is, successful. A little bit of lift from the speed you get from the mushroom and hopping on the water. Lafungo still, with that miss zoom from KVD, Lafungo still about a half-second lead, maybe a little more. And now they're both getting into lap traffic, which always just messes everybody up. KVD is cleared of lap traffic first, but Lafungo weaved his way through those players just fine. KVD had a minor grass hit on that big hairpin turn. And folks, you see the difference hit and zoom starts makes right there. Half-second difference with a major shortcut from KVD. And now Bowser Castle 2. This one can be brutal. Has some really big shortcut opportunities with the feather. Multiple different areas that you can pull it off to. I'm going to guess that both these guys would go for a finish line feather if the opportunity comes up. The easiest feather to make is over the stop sign. That's the noob shortcut. Probably the second easiest one to make, which is actually very difficult, is off of turn 1. You can jump across the spot off of turn 1 all the way across just beyond the stop sign. Third toughest and probably most effective one is the finish line feather. It's a lot more difficult than Rainbow Road because you have to turn left and then slide right and swing all the way around so that you can get an angle at the finish line and actually clip that thing KVD with the dead stop on the thwomps. This one's still very, very close. Lafungo's got the lead going into the final. Feather finish coming for Lafungo. This will decide the match. He nails it. Oh, baby. Sorry, KVD. Items were in Lafungo's favor. And he also raced better than you. Mario Circuit 3 does not have major opportunities for a comeback. The only thing KVD can hope for now is that Lafungo gets one of the classic hairpin turn crashes and does a full 360. He's part French. Yes, the French item luck is always so strong. But there's no doubt about it. Lafungo's racing is what separated him and KVD today. Just that consistency. He definitely got more helpful items, but I would say he's been more consistent, has taken fewer, dead stops on either pipes or walls or CPU players. And it's just been a clinic of awesome driving. And yes, betting grand finals will be these two again, possibly. So with this loss, KVD drops to the losers finals, I believe it is. Jarmu will be facing Bat Mallard in the losers semis coming up on Wednesday here on SpeedGaming or one of its affiliates. And then the winner of that will go on to face KVD. And then we'll go on to face Lafungo. In the grand final, and with Lafungo having no strikes against him, you gotta beat him twice. So you gotta take six cups off of him to actually win this thing. And no matter who it is, that is going to be a tall task. All right, so we'll see if KVD pops in here or Lafungo pops in. Looks like KVD has joined. Here we go. Karl van Duijden, or however you say it.
What's up?
All right, well. So were you two guys in the same room, or were you yelling at each other from across the hall?
No, he is downstairs and I'm upstairs, so we had no contact with each other whatsoever.
None whatsoever. All right, well, it certainly seemed like you had a solid race for the most part. We won't talk about Special Cup, but item luck, and Koopa Beach 1 is kind of my takeaway from that race. Give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think it pretty much illustrated perfectly why I quit taking anything involving Grand Prix or two-player SMK seriously. Because the luck swings with RNG and CPU trolls and fish positions and stuff is just... It makes it hard to be an accurate competitive measure stick, if you ask me. So
now
I already figured that out. I should have figured it out sooner, but pretty much, yeah, that. Like if you get a feather on CI2 and your opponent does not, and what can you do, right? It's a 10-second swing right off the bat.
Yeah, you say that, but I know you. You're not gonna stop playing Super Mario Kart.
Oh no, I'll still play. I'll still play.
And you'll still take it seriously.
Well, no, not as seriously.
All right, then you are going to be drinking as many beers as I do at ASMKC next year.
My liver is not ready.
All right, so what made you guys make the gentleman's agreement to do Mini Yoshi on Special Cup?
I think it just came up in casual conversation because Lafungo mentioned to me that Mario 86 and him did a full cup series of Mini Yoshi versus Mini Princess at CDM in free play last year.
I don't know.
And they were having a real hoot. And
you may be talking about Anti-Star.
I don't know who Anti-Star is. Sorry.
Okay, then we don't know. We don't know what we're talking about.
No, so Lafungo suggested it, and I think it may have been a ploy on his part to like destabilize me at Special Cup and take that extra point off of me, which is fine. I mean, I agreed to do it. I could have refused.
It would have been a different story if this was the grand finals, but I mean, this is basically semis or kind of quarters almost.
I mean, it would have been a different story if it was single or limb, for sure. Then I wouldn't have agreed to do it. Let's make that clear.
So, Mushroom Cup victory. You went for long boost on Mario Circuit 2.
Yeah,
it almost turned tragic for you, man.
I was peeking over on the stream, and I noticed I had a big lead. And I know even if I failed a long boost a couple of times, I will still get a 110 at least. So I knew what I was doing, even though like I would have liked to do better on MC2. Yeah.
Okay. I saw the one that you missed, and you got bounced back enough to get enough speed to make it over. And if that wasn't the case, I think Lafungo would have taken the lead there, and this would have been 3-0.
I think typically what happens if you get a bounce that stops you at the zippers, you will still make it on NTSC because of the insane acceleration, but you hit the back wall with your ass. So you have to sort of improvise to get back to speed, but I very rarely have to do a circle around.
Hey, now, if you were Clark and you said that in chat just now, you would have gotten a timeout.
Why?
You said ass. This is a PG-4 stream. I guess
elbow.
That can be a slang term for donkey. So we're gonna go with that one. That's all. That's the only word you meant. All right. So Mushroom on Choco Island 1 and Mushroom on Donut Plains 2 were pretty much the only thing that kept you in that final race. Lafungo got a feather on Choco Island 1. He hit the feather finish on Bowser Castle 2.
Which, by the way, is the most time-winning item in the entire 20 tracks that you can get in Grand Prix. It's
The
like
Bowser
an absolute time gain of, I think it's 10 seconds or so. It's even bigger than CI2.
Well, it is the whale shark of SMK. So being able to skip half that giant fish is a pretty significant consideration.
Yep.
All right.
So,
well,
that was the difference between us on Flower Cup. 752 against 801. So, yeah.
All right. I'm going to assume that Lafungo is in the French commentary.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well, are there
We-
any other things that you would like to remark on about this race?
Nah, not much. I mean,
Yeah, just get it over with. Come on, right?
yeah, I'd like to focus on time trial again more than Grand Prix. It's safe to say I've not been enjoying SMK and its lock swings the last couple of months, and this pretty much, like, just rubs it in even more. Like,
You're gonna be relegated to only racing against Joe Bernier.
it's not even just that. It's not just the items. It's everything.
Yep. You keep complaining.
It's CPU
We will
snipes.
keep
It's
loving watching you. You keep hitting world records in time trial.
yep. That's all I'll do.
All right. Well, let's get out of here.
Is Lafungo not coming to the English stream at all?
I doubt it. We all want to be done.
Yeah, it's pretty late here, so thanks for commentating, Dan, for the millions. I hope you said
For
that enough times.
the millions. I said it once.
And,
I mean, I figured that was adequate.
If there were any Japanese people watching, Takashi and Yamagishi, thanks for watching. Come and waking up this early. I'm sorry for the disappointing match, but it is what it is. And there's still a grand final happening at some point, so stay tuned.
You will play the winner of Bat Mallard versus Jarmu.
I will
Any
indeed.
thoughts on those two players?
I think
Mac?
apparently both of them have been practicing a lot, so I'm expecting a tough opposition, whoever wins that. No, Eric, I did not do fine. I mean, I was driving relatively okay, but it's just yeah. But like I said, lock swings basically is what made the difference.
Yeah, I got Jarmu in 4 over Bat Mallard, so you'll have your work cut out for you with either of those players.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, see you later.
Later.
And I will wrap this up. I will keep the stream alive for the French commentary, man. I don't know when they're going to be done, but in the meantime, this was SpeedGaming. This was the winners finals of the 150cc Super Mario Kart Grand Prix tournament, and this is SpeedGaming. This broadcast was brought to you by pumpkins. Pumpkins. Who on earth would think to eat those things? You know, the innards can make a decent pie. The seeds roasted are actually pretty good. But mostly they're just used to carve out for jack-o'-lanterns. Pumpkins. Being orange since 1863. Alright, I am Dan H. I will see you later.